The babysitter who tried to replace me as mom until I made her regret it. You never realize how fragile your family is until someone else tries to live in it. When I went back to work after maternity leave, I felt like I was failing both sides of myself. I loved my job as a nurse, but I loved my 2-year-old daughter, Hazel, more. So when Sophie came into our lives, it felt like fate. She was 23, studying early childhood education, all freckles and soft smiles. Hazel adored her instantly. My husband, Tom, said she was a godsend. And in those early months, she really was. The house stayed tidy, Hazel laughed more, and for the first time since giving birth, I didn't feel like I was drowning. Until one day, I realized the tide had changed, and I wasn't the one in charge anymore. It started small. Hazel called me mommy. But one evening when I came home early, I heard her tiny voice squeal, mommy. And it wasn't directed at me. Sophie turned red. Oh, she just gets confused sometimes. I laughed it off, but it stung. Then came the social media posts. Pictures of Hazel, eating pancakes, napping on Sophie's chest, captioned. My favorite little girl. Can't imagine life without her. No tags. No mention that I was Hazel's mother. Just her and my daughter. I told Tom it bothered me. He shrugged. She's just attached. That's good, right? No. It wasn't good. It was eerie. Then Sophie started showing up on weekends to check in on Hazel. She'd bring toys, bake cookies, and sit beside Tom laughing at old movies. It stopped feeling like she worked for us. It started feeling like she lived there. The breaking point came one afternoon when Hazel fell and scraped her knee. Sophie rushed to comfort her before I could even move. She scooped her up and said, "It's okay, mommy's here." I froze. Hazel whimpered into her shoulder, not mine. That night, I told Tom we needed to let Sophie go. He said don't overreact. She's great with Hazel. You're just tired. I wanted to scream. But instead, I smiled. Because I'd learned something from nursing. You don't fight infection by yelling at it. You isolate it, and then you cut it out. I started documenting everything. The posts. The dates. The messages she sent me that crossed boundaries, like Hazel called me mama again today, and she said she wants to stay with me forever. I even recorded a few conversations where she joked about being Tom's other half in parenting. It wasn't funny anymore. Then one night, I got proof she'd crossed the line. I came home early again, and found her on the couch, Hazel asleep on her lap, Tom beside her watching a movie. Sophie was wearing my hoodie. My hoodie. The one Tom bought me our first anniversary. She looked up, startled. Oh, I just got cold, she said. Tom looked between us, confused. What's the big deal? I didn't answer. But my heart was already done being naive. The next morning, I told Sophie calmly, we won't be needing you anymore. She blinked, then smiled like she'd been expecting it. That's okay, she said. Hazel loves me more, anyway. That sentence hit like ice. But I still smiled. We'll see. Because while she was busy posting pictures, I'd been busy preparing. A week later, she posted another photo, Hazel on her lap again, captioned. Love being her real mama #family. So I sent the screenshots, audio clips, and timestamps to her college department head, with a polite note explaining that she'd been violating confidentiality and posting photos of a minor without parental consent. Then I sent the same report to child services, citing concerns about boundary confusion and emotional interference. It didn't take long. Within 2 days, she was called into a disciplinary hearing at her university. Her internship was suspended. Her page went private. Tom finally snapped. Did you really have to ruin her life? I looked him dead in the eye. No. She did that when she tried to take mine. That was the day he finally understood this wasn't jealousy. It was protection. A week later, Hazel climbed into my lap, touched my cheek, and whispered, Mommy. No hesitation this time.